with the educated opinion on topics of all varieties. This your boy Bubba, and you already know what I'm about to say, right? You are listening to Bubba's Banter. Y'all, what's good, y'all? It's your motherfucking boy. I ain't gotta say no names, right? But I am, anyways. It's your boy Bubba, and you are watching and also listening to Bubba's Banter. I hope you guys are living one feeling. I'm doing good. I'm doing great. Sorry, I was just about to cough and let y'all know that I'm still congested. So, welcome to 2026. First off, let me say that before I get into my woes. Welcome to the year of 2026. I hope you guys are having a very prosperous beginning of the new year. I know I got some big things happening this year, so I'm kind of excited about those things. But I'm just trying to take it one day at a time and just let things happen. But very excited for the things that are coming forth for me. But yeah, your boy is congested. I got the CPAP flu over like a couple days, and I'm still like, congested and feeling like shit right now, low key. Well, no, okay, let me stop lying. I don't feel like shit. I just feel congested. And I guess feeling like shit can go along with being congested. Yes. See, there I go, coughing. I shouldn't be doing this on my podcast. Maybe I'll edit that out. But anyways, so you're going to hear a lot of coughing, and my voice is kind of a little raspy today. Some of you will see coughing. Some of you will hear, my voice being raspy and the coughing as well. I can't help that. I'm drinking some water right now, so you'll see some of that too in a second. But other than that, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Like, I'm telling you, 2026 is about to be great. It's about to be very, very great. But so today, yes, it's still me. I will say, in the year 2026, I do want to have more guests come on my show. It's just having guests on my show sometimes complicate my timeline. I have a really strict work schedule. And so I hate just dropping my podcast anytime, any day. I might even move the official day, because I realize with my work schedule, dropping my podcast in the middle of the week sometimes can be not necessarily in the middle, but the end of the week, sort of. It's kind of hard on me. So I'm thinking maybe a weekend day or something, maybe a Sunday, because I feel like Sundays is when people is chilling and shit, but we'll see. I don't know yet. I don't want to make anything official yet, but I have been thinking about switching the days over, because this podcast will be coming out not on Thursday. So when you see this or hear this, it won't be Thursday. It will not be Thursday. Best believe. I'm so sorry. But you know what? I will say you guys still stick with me and stick beside me. So I really do appreciate that. I really, really do appreciate that more than you think. And I really do appreciate that. But anyways, let's get into this episode. But before we do that, you already know what I'm going to do. Hit that motherfucking subscribe button, baby. Also, give me a like or a thumbs up, whatever you like to call it. Give me a share, because y'all know that gets me out there in the algorithm as well as those thumbs up. And follow me on my social medias, which is The Real Doc Dre, Bubba's Banter Podcast, and Bubba's Banter on Facebook. And I know, especially right now, because I'm congested, y'all like to listen to this sexy-ass voice, because I like to put on that sexy ass voice and drop them motherfucking panties, boy. I'm sorry. Bubba's Banter Podcast is on multiple streaming platforms like Apple Podcasts, Google, Good Pods, everything at this point, iHeartRadio. But if you do use Spotify, please listen to me on there, because this podcast is hosted by Spotify for creators, okay? So let's hop into the show. Y'all know I talk about dating so much on here, and I know y'all probably rolling y'all fucking eyes like, oh my God, here he fucking goes with this dating shit. Like, he's gonna be talking about some fucking dating again. Like, get your ass in a relationship already, Bubba. Like, please get in a relationship. Like, I know that's what y'all probably thinking about right now, but like, I'm going to be talking about dating today from a different perspective. So let's hop into that. You know what's wild to me? We live in a time where you can meet someone within a 5 mile radius, see their body, see their face, know what their politics are, know if they like dogs or cats, see their jobs, all those type of things. See if they're emotionally available, like those type of things, right? All before you say hello to this person, right? And we were told that this way of dating would just be much easier, more access, more control, more options, more freedom, I guess, access, whatever you want to call. And on paper, that sounds great, but in reality, everyone's exhausted. Everyone's exhausted. Yeah, I think everyone's exhausted. Everyone's emotionally guarded. People are stuck in these situationships that don't go nowhere. Everyone's just completely checked out and acting as if they're fine with it. And I personally believe there's no coincidence to why that is. I personally believe that dating apps, social media has ushered in the paradox of choice. I just personally believe that. And when you sit down and think about modern dating of today, and the behaviors that happens, the avoidance, the dissatisfaction of always being, just being dissatisfied all the time, the lack of trying to commit to things, like it's there. And it just makes sense of why we have all these things that happen. The ghosting. Don't let me forget about the ghosting. The ghosting is like the one of the biggest things to me. It's like, why are we ghosting at our big ages nowadays when we can just have real conversations? I don't know. I just think that these apps and, social media has made a big, big, big hindrance on dating. So I'm going to talk about that today. And here's the thing about choice that nobody tells you. Choice is empowering, but choice also feels endless. And I'm not saying you can't have a choice. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, like, think about it like this. When you have a few options, you make decisions based off your values, your beliefs, your chemistry, your compatibility, right? The timing, things like that. You don't overthink it as much as because you can't. You can't overthink it that much because you can't. I had to say that twice. Because you can't. Say it 3 times. You just choose and see where it goes. But now, because we have so much choice, you're always thinking in your head, is that the best I can do? I know everyone asks that question because I do it. Do he got a big dick? Is that ass fat? Do he want kids? Is he open to polyamory? Is he open to open relationships? You start to look at these things and you start to reject people because, like, that's why sometimes I even question if I'm really looking for love. And oh shit, I shouldn't even put myself out there like that. But sometimes I do ask myself that when it comes to dating. Am I actually looking for love? Because I do put a lot of stipulations on the man that I go after. I like me a bald head, bearded man. 250 plus to ride this bus, masculine as fuck. Like, I put these stipulations on on men that I want. And again, there's nothing wrong with having a type and there's nothing wrong with having a desire. You need to have that, But I feel like we tend to skip all the other parts of a person, the compatibility of it all, because we want the person to look this glamorous way of, like, again, it's okay to have choice. It's okay to want to have a sexy man. I'm not trying to knock you and say you got to go get the ugly duckling. But, like, I think sometimes we have to go off vibes, go off chemistry, go off compatibility. Are they a cool person? Like, they may not be my ducks in a row, but he kind of can get it, like, type of vibes, And again, I wanted to add to that. I have to add actually to say this is that I do believe that sometimes when we ask those questions to ourselves when we're dating, a lot of that shit is like anxiety felt. It builds anxiety in a way because the moment you choose someone, you're really rejecting every other possibility that you might think you might have. And that's what leads you to have one foot out the door. That's what leaves so many people, have committed to um uh the dating whatever, And it's not because they're heartless or they don't want connection. They're just scared of fucking finality. I feel like these apps train us to be scared of finality in a way. And I know that's a big ass word, right? Y'all probably like, oh, he probably used ChatGPT for that. Cause I know some of y'all probably looking at this or listening like, oh, he used ChatGPT for that. Cause that nigga said finality. Like I'm sorry, I had to make a joke right quick. But no, I do believe that, choosing starts to feel like a mistake instead of like a step forward. And that's a big issue when you start to do that, at least to me. And honestly, if I'm gonna be real, I personally feel like dating apps do not create connection. They create or encourage, I should say, optimization. Yes, optimization, motherfucker. I said that word. every every swipe you make, every profile you look out, the filters you can make, the way you can rank people, upgrade, boost your profile, all these things, whether you want to admit it or not, these apps were designed to make us think this way. Especially now that you have all types of features to filter out everything. You can look for blue eyes, black eyes, race, ethnicity, hair length, height, weight. Like you literally can do all this stuff now in these apps. Literally. And again, when you start evaluating instead of engaging, you're not asking yourself, how do I feel about this person? You're asking yourself, how does this person compare to the other person that I like or that I'm attracted to? And when you're optimizing, you're not present. You're just fucking comparing. So when you see someone who is kind, emotionally available, genuinely interested in you, there's this quiet voice in the back of your head like, yeah, he's actually dope. But I know there's someone a step above. There's someone who actually hits all of the ducks that I want. He gonna give me all my ducks in a row, the next person. So I'm gonna let this person sit in the chat for a little bit, but I'm gonna keep swiping. That voice in your head really does kill the intimacy because you could build some shit with this person that you just matched with and was cool with and had conversations with for 3 months at a time, for 3 months and haven't met yet or whatever. Like, people, intimacy requires time. Intimacy requires you staying long enough to actually see someone, to let nuance show up, to let the depth form. And I feel like these apps just keep us, or train us, I should say, to keep moving. Honestly, that's really what's happening here. This is where it gets uncomfortable. When people start to be reduced to profiles, they start to feel like products, right? And products we can compare side by side, products we can dismiss in seconds. Products can be replaced instantly. And when people start feeling interchangeable, communication becomes optional. Real shit. And that's why you see ghosting become so common. That's why people vanish without having the uncomfortable conversations. That's why I don't owe anybody has become this dating philosophy instead of a fucking red flag. When people become infinite, they feel disposable. And when people become disposable, they become optional. Personally, that's how I feel. Especially with the ghosting shit. Like a lot of people know I hate ghosting. If I see you out in public, I probably will say something to you like, oh, okay, like that's how you feel. Or I will act like you're dead to me. Because I hate ghosting. I think it's the weirdest shit ever. It's the weirdest fucking shit ever, y'all. And if dating apps wasn't bad, social media pretty much just fucking poured gasoline on the fire. Straight the fuck up. Like, social media didn't just give us more options. It literally became comparisons on motherfucking steroids. Straight up, because at this point with social media, you're not just dating your date. You're dating against other couples. You're dating against bodies, lifestyles, relationship highlight profile. You know, the couples who get on social media and do their like content thing because they want to be content creators. And I feel like people are not, relationship goals. Like, I mean, that literally, the whole era of the podcast, the dating podcast shit that just started or over the pandemic, talking about relationships and shit, relationship podcast, all that shit that started over the pandemic, like tonight's conversation, all that shit. I'm sorry, I shouldn't even say that out loud, but that's just really what it is. Like, and I love tonight's conversation, but because they actually had good conversations on there. But there was a lot of fucking shows where people were talking about relationships. And I'm like, y'all motherfuckers been single for motherfucking 8 years. And you're talking about a relationship that a relationship experience that happened 8 years ago to like right motherfucking now in the climate that you live in. How the fuck do you have sound good advice if you still scoring and have not healed yet? What the fuck? And motherfuckers is like listening to that shit. So it always has me thinking about how people examine these fucking relationships on the internet. They're almost never thinking, is this relationship actually healthy? But they're always thinking, does this relationship look as good as the one that I'm in? And how can I want my relationship like that? Relationship goals, hashtag relationship goals. Oh, J and Beyonce. Like, straight up. And that shit's dangerous because social media shows outcomes. They don't show the fucking process. They don't show the slow days. They don't show the miscommunication. They don't show the actual real work that people got to put into their relationships. And sometimes, hell, they don't even show the damage in the relationship. Because nowadays, people need to make money, so they're going to make content no matter what. They don't show the abuse that some of these women go through on social media and these accounts and the couple just trying to make money. So when the relationship feels real, and when I mean by real, I mean messy, slow, and imperfect, people assume that something is wrong when you don't realize that it takes time to have a good relationship. Relationships are not made overnight. I mean, I'm a single man and I know that myself. Dating is hard as fuck. And I haven't even had a real long ass boyfriend. I've had situationships for the longest time. And dating and going on dates with a person for the longest time. You know, it takes time to be with somebody consistently, to choose that person over and over and over again. Like, real shit. And people need to take that into consideration. Like, you just don't make a relationship overnight, and social media got y'all motherfuckers gassed up to think that relationships are just this easy. It's not. It's really not that fucking easy at all. This is the heart of the paradox. Choice feels like freedom, but in my head, commitment is what creates safety. You know, when everything feels irreplaceable, nothing feels secure. People will say, I want intimacy, but they're afraid to choose. People will say, I want a connection, but they're scared of the fucking risks that comes along with that. People will say, I want the depth. I want a deep nigga. I want the deepness, but only if it doesn't limit their options. You know what I'm saying? So they stay in fucking limbo. They stay in the situationships, the undefined dynamics, the fucking emotional ambiguity. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to say the word ambiguity. I'm not using Chat GPT, y'all. Y'all know what the fuck I mean. But it leaves you in an emotional rut. Let me just say that. Like, in limbo is exhausting. Like, who wants to do that? Who wants to continue to just slowly drain themselves and become fucking jaded? Like, nobody wants to deal with that. Like, and myself, and I'm speaking for myself because I've been in this situation where, like, I just end up being stuck in limbo with the same guy over and over and over. I'm so over it. And for gay men, especially gay black men, I feel like all of this shit gets amplified, from desirability politics to, hyper visibility to, smaller dating pools. All of this shit gets amplified. You start to feel like you're being measured by your aesthetics versus who you are as a person. And when I mean by aesthetics, I mean like by the matches, the likes, the attention, the validation, all those things. Like, it becomes addicting, especially on the fucking apps. And so, a truth bomb right now, I do feel like within the community, you start to feel like you're not connecting, you're performing. And dating has become about being chosen, staying desirable, not aging out of that, kind of staying within that, like that invisible up and down hierarchy. Like, you got to stay there. And it's all within the gay community through race, age, all of it, gender, all of it. It's literally a hierarchy, and it's like this performance that we have to do to be desirable. I see it on all the apps. There's a certain particular app that I like to get on, and I love it because it's just one of the gooder apps that don't give me spam and like all the weird shit. But on this app, they have a section where it's called like the most whooped, and all the men on there are like these chiseled, like muscle, hairy dudes, and like, steroid bodies. I shouldn't say steroid bodies, but you know what I mean. The muscle queens, and like, and of all ages. It's not just of like young bucks. It's like young bucks my age. When I say young bucks, I mean like the young ones, and then people my age. I'm not a young buck anymore. And then older men's and the daddies, like, the daddies that are souped up on testosterone because they need it. Like, I'm just saying, like, a lot of this shit is real. You have to, it's like a game. You have to be desirable for people to choose you. They don't care about anything else. And I'm not saying everyone's like that. I'm saying that there are a lot of people out there who play the game. Are you desirable? Because if you're not desirable, I find no value in you. And I personally believe, as a gay man, that's the reason why dating is hard. And sometimes I play in that game as well. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm some fucking saint. Again, I said earlier, I like a bald head, bearded daddy, 250 plus to ride this bus, and masculine as fuck. I did say that. Oh shit. See, I told y'all I was still congested. But yeah, I did say that, and I think that shit actually is just what happens. And it sucks that it's there, but it's there. But I have to say this too, is I feel like somewhere around the way we've lost we've lost patience. I know that sounded crazy, right? I said somewhere around the way somewhere around the way we have lost the patience. Just let me say that. We've lost curiosity. We've lost giving grace to people. We've lost the ability to sit down in discomfort and actually try to make something grow, right? We've lost the ability to actually have good conversation with people and make connections. Everything feels like an inconvenience now for folks, and I just don't understand it. I will say with the apps though, it feels like we had an exchange for convenience because of the apps. And what I mean by convenience because of the apps is like, oh, I can see somebody. I don't have to necessarily talk to them first. I have the choice to either swipe left or swipe right, you know. And we have to take into consideration that convenience does not build intimacy, intention does. So, yeah. But I want to say this before I end this podcast is that me talking about social media and the dating apps in the way that I'm talking about them, I'm not saying that these apps are evil. I'm saying that these apps have created an abundance that we learned not how to handle. It created such of an abundance that we do not know how to handle it at all. We were sold this shit and we don't know how to deal with this shit, you know? But yeah, until we unlearn that shit, I feel like dating will always remain lonely, uncomfortable, draining, and tired. So it doesn't matter how many people we swipe away, it just probably will be that. And I ain't got premium because, hey, I ain't spending $30 on some motherfucking, oh, see how many people actually like your profile. You have 55 likes, and it's probably all AI bots. Ain't no motherfucking way. Ain't no motherfucking way I'm paying $30 to see fucking 55 AI bots. There's no way. Anyways, this is the ending of my podcast. I do want to say thank you guys for liking, sharing, and subscribing and supporting Bubba's Banter. I really do appreciate you guys for doing that. I got a lot of people telling me this week and last week how much they just enjoy my shows and they enjoy the videos that I've been posting on YouTube and all that stuff. I really do appreciate you guys doing that. I always say I'm no Joe Rogan. I am just Bubba, you know what I'm saying? But I really want to get myself out there with this podcasting stuff. Maybe make it a little bigger than what it actually is. And go somewhere. I'm gonna continue to do this shit as much as I can, and I love doing it. It's a hobby of mine, but I would love to really get out there and monetize off of this a little bit more. So when I tell you guys to make sure you subscribe and share, please do, because it's gonna get me out there in the algorithm, and somebody gonna discover me and find me. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I gotta get ready for work, y'all. So again, I just want to say thank you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button before you end this video or before you end this audio stream, all right? So I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.